All right, guys. Dave Whichard, President FFL Velocity. Welcome to Weekend Warriors podcast. And I first started the Weekend Warrior podcast. It was really about trying to get people to inspire them to work on weekends, obviously. But I think Weekend Warriors can be used for a lot of things. But in this case, it's our podcast, right? So, but today I have a special guest, a guy that is a Hall of Fame producer, which means he actually last year I think it was 474 families he helped. Is the number I remember. So he was actually number one in Velocity, which is super exciting. Him and Todd Hosberger, both Hall of Famers, and so it's cool. It means he helped a lot of families, and he continue to do that this year. So my man, Robby Wells. Say hi, Robby.
Hello, everybody. And Dave, thanks for having me in today.
Well, it's always a pleasure to get to talk to you a little bit and share some things. So Robby is, he's the kind of guy that's real consistent, 30, 40, 50 families a month, every month. And, we have our Zooms that he gets on and dials, does a great job, and, has learned a lot. So, Robby, what are some of the things that, I guess the first thing would be just a brief synopsis of your story. I know he was a football coach before and things like that. And, but what have you found that, people coming from other backgrounds and how if they can just, plug into some of the systems out there, how they can be successful, because that's really what you've done.
Well, you're exactly right. You don't have to be a licensed agent to come to Family First Life. You could come from any different walk of life and be successful here. I tell people I've never really been in sales. I was a college football coach, but I guess in a way that is kind of sales because we were going into homes, meeting with families, meeting with those young men, and basically selling them on a university to come to. And it wasn't just a 4-year decision, it was a 40-year decision because the people they were going to meet in college were going to be their business partners throughout their professional career. They were probably going to meet their wife in college. So, we took that pretty serious. I take this very serious too, simply because you're talking about people's lives. Somebody passes and they don't have life insurance, it really can set their family back. For most people here in the United States, we're considered to be middle class and below. So if you don't have life insurance, it could be really, really difficult. So that's where we come in and where we're able to really do some nice things and bless others with that. And I've always believed, and this is actually biblical, that if you bless others, you end up getting blessed. So it's about getting out there and helping enough people getting what they want. And if they end up getting what they want, you end up being taken care of too.
Yeah, that's so true, and that's the thing. Me, I guess I got it from my mom, but at the end of the day, I had a caring heart, and so I guess just watching her and who she was as I was growing up, and it's continued. And I remember playing ball in high school. I was, I wanted to do the best I could for the team in all sports, and try to be my best. I felt like I was, I'd let other people down, if I didn't do my job. Right. And I think that's the thing with our company. It's just like as a team, it's like everyone has their job. Well, our job is really just go protect people and inspire people and things like that. So that's what I do love about it. It's like coaching and just inspiring people. So we just have to help people win. And if you have a caring heart, and like Robby said, we're not afraid to talk about God, obviously. And I think that's the other thing too, reading the word. I mean, obviously I talk about this a lot, but like if you're planting seeds over here and you're planting them over here and you're doing good things, they blossom other places, you don't even really know. God's in control. And so, what are some things that, like you do, like, let's just talk about some technical stuff a little bit here, but, you dial the phone and I love some of the things you say, but what are some key things that you found in being able to book your, 30 appointments plus a week, things like that help you?
Well, one thing I've always tried to do with whatever business that I was in, whether it was coaching, whether it was this or whatever, always try to tweak your craft every day and make it just a little bit better. You're never where you want to be, but thank God you're not where you used to be. So I'm always trying to tweak it. I'm always trying to to get better at what I do. I look back 2 years ago, Dave, when we were in the other office and you were just starting and I was one of your first writers, and I had absolutely no clue what I was doing as far as dialing on the phone or setting appointments or even running those appointments. So what I did is I took Dave and just copied him because he was so successful in this line of business. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a guy that's really, really successful. He's been there and he's done that. I'm going to take his advice. I'm going to do what he does. And so by doing that, I ended up finding a little bit of success early in this business. And then I just kept tweaking my craft, and I would hear things on podcasts that would help me, Dave. I would hear when I would actually go to the different conferences, the sales conferences throughout the year. I'd hear different people that were doing great things, like Matt Smith, like Sean Mike, because he would always be there. Okay, one of the best CEOs I've ever seen. Not only is he a genius, but he goes to all the events. Okay, he speaks. He pours back into his agents. That's unheard of. So I take bits and pieces from all these different folks, and it's just really, really cool. Overcoming objections on the phone to set that appointment is amazing. Once you get to a point where you can just be real comfortable on the phone with somebody, and no matter what their objection is, you can come right back on them. And I'm always tweaking. I'm always looking for new ways and finding new ideas from different techniques from different agents, things that are working for them. Brody, that's there in our office, he gave me one just a few days ago. He says, you ever have a client on the phone, you're trying to book the appointment, and they'll say, just email me the information, send it to me in the mail. I was like, yeah. He says, well, here's what I do. He says, I just say, yeah, I'll be glad to do that. I just need your bank account information right now. Give me your account number and your routing number, and we'll get that information right over to you, which seems really absurd, of course. And he says about 60% of the time the people will say, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that over the phone. He says, yeah, you're exactly right. And that's why our business model is usually just to come out there and we see you face to face and get you set up. We don't get that information over the phone. And he says he'll just go straight into, which works better for you, this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon? And they'll give him an answer. So as crazy as that sounds, it actually works. I've actually done that a couple of times since he gave that to me, that nice little nugget. So always look to tweak your craft and get better.
Yeah, and you said something early on there, tweaking your craft and that kind of thing. But like always trying to get better, wake up every day. Hear Sean talk about that a lot. It's just, hey, I just try to get better every day. And that's the one thing I try to do every day as well. I hate the word try, but get up and maybe it's one thing just to get better at that day. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's treat people a certain way. Maybe it's, go the extra mile for somebody else. Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's work out a little bit harder or more, or, drink more water, whatever it might be. Just something to make you better. Read the Bible more, pray more, whatever. That's always a good thing. But so and I think that's the thing. I think people get in their head. I mean, we've had those conversations. I mean, guys, we're in a business where it's a real business, and so it's explaining to people there's debt, right? I think we have to get a better job of doing that with new people, and it's just part of the business. I was talking to Andrew Taylor one time, and I asked him about it. He says, funny how Dave, like how people, think about that. But if you looked at another business, like let's say you had a bunch of trucks, like you had some type of business that you needed a truck. Mm-hmm. And if the truck broke down, like you wouldn't just go, well, oh my gosh, like what's happening here? You would just shut your business down? No, you would figure out a way to get the truck fixed, or your business will go down. So, right. But people look at it like, oh, it's a bad thing. Like it happens. It's part of our business. We're going to have chargebacks. Our team's going to have them. And that's just part of it. That's our truck. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got to, that's just how it is. 70% and 30, falls off. Hopefully it's better than that, but that's the industry average, and it's being clear about that. But I think where people get trouble is they don't work consistently like Robby does. And even in his case, he can have some ups and downs in that arena. I think we're going to have that. I think, just like in life and coaching, you probably said this to your guys, like we don't want to get too high when we win a game. We don't get too low if we lose. Hopefully we don't lose too many. But just stay in that steady course instead of having a roller coaster. Is really, if you can control that in your mind, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, a coach that is near and dear to me early in my career, his name was Stuart Holcomb. He was the head coach at Greer High School. Won a state championship my last year there. Went undefeated doing it. He used to always say, "It's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. It's always somewhere right in there between." So in business and especially here with Family First Life, you'll be on top of a mountain. You'll sell a huge policy, and you've got a huge commission coming in, and everybody's all excited, this, that, and the other, and then a few days later, you may get a charge back, and then you're feeling all low because you got a little bit of a negative balance, with Americo or Mutual of Omaha, whoever the case may be. So understand this: it's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. Just to always try to keep that even keel and keep on going. Listen, I wrote Hall of Fame, but I've had times in this business when it's been just absolutely great. There's been other times when you get more chargebacks than others, which is usually around Christmas time. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's people going out and getting Christmas gifts instead of paying their premium. I don't know. But what you got to do is just take it for what it is, push through it, and if you will be relentless in this business or any business, you got to be relentless. And if you will, you'll come out on top.
Yeah, that's true. And, not trying to be, it's just part of the business, right? So I think the key for everyone is consistency. Mm-hmm. The people that will get hurt are the ones that aren't consistent. And
Right.
even if Robby's been consistent, so while it might hurt a little bit at times, it's a minimal thing and he can push through it. And, and then you got, team and, he's still figuring that out. Like it's, how do we get people started better? How do we get them to win right away? How do we do that? And I think the key is just, getting there and, get in the dirt with him and show him what she's doing and, out there dialing in front of people, helping people on the Zooms, plugging in here, and, being at the meetings when he can and, that type of thing. And I think that we all need to get around the road to Hall of Fames and learn from, other producers if we've never done that. You've got Road to Integrities that you can get to, learn from Shawn Mike about integrity. Best platform out there, period. There's no question. If you want to, have an exit plan and be with integrity, if that's what you call it. To me, it's an exit plan, but to me, it's just a beginning. Like, finishing up, looking forward to that, being an integrity partner one day. And with that said, it's just really the beginning because we're going to help more people, have more things that we can help with integrity and all the different things that they give us to grow our business for those partners. So excited about the possible opportunities with that and seeing other people win. So, Robby, maybe give us a few tips of some things that maybe you say in the homes, some things that you say after, some things to solidify the business a little bit better, some things you've learned that are starting to work or have worked or, things you've learned. And I know you're in the office of Mike Curry too. You guys go back and forth and what the importance of, having that office atmosphere and work spots and that kind of thing.
Well, let's talk about making Hall of Fame. This past year, Mike Curry and I both did, and our offices are literally right next to each other. How cool is that? That he and I had each other to feed off each other's energy, and we did. We fed off each other's energy the entire last 9 months of last year when we both started working in that office. He beat me, so we would go back and forth, and by doing that, at the end, we were both Hall of Fame. And I remember it was really, really close. And I told him, I said, "Hey, Mike," I said, "you're really close and you got a week to go." I said, "What can I do to help?" And so he was like, "Man, I don't know what we can do." But I did, and I was there to help him. He was there to help me. So that was really, really huge. As far as going into the home, understand this. If you get invited to the home, there's a 95% chance that you are going to write a policy. And if you don't, it's on you. Here's why. Okay. Obviously, the client has filled out a lead form online. Okay. That form came to your office. It came to you through the CRM or through whatever lead vendor that you used. You called that person. That person agreed to an appointment where you are coming to the home. You get to the home, they allow you to come inside. If you come inside, You open up your iPad and you start showing them, there is a 95% chance that you are going to write a policy. And if you don't, it's on you. It's on me. Okay? So I look at it that way. You want to make sure that you set enough appointments so that you're actually getting in front of enough people. Because if you set 30 appointments, you're not going to get in front of 30 people. You set 30 appointments, you're probably going to get in front of about 12 to 15. And that's the goal.
Yeah, Robby. So, Robby, you know, and the thing is, protect that many families. You protect one family a day, you know, can definitely make a difference. And so we got to, you know, that's the key, is just protecting the families and
Right.
and taking care of them. So as we kind of wrap this up in the next few minutes, I think that's the thing is, I was sitting back this morning, I was thinking about it when I was praying and working out, whatever. And I reflect on things. And one of the things I've realized about this business, it comes down to a few things. And one of those is really having the right mindset and having the right attitude about everything. Because, you know, it's like somebody says, all leads work. Some work a little, some work a lot, you know, whatever. Some don't work, you know, they all suck, whatever. It's all your attitude, you know, about it. Like if you know, and you've done it enough where you just dial through them and it's just a numbers game, then you realize that that's what it is. It's a numbers game. I'm not saying the people that we call our numbers, because everyone matters. I'm just saying that it's a numbers game. And it's just like with any sport, if you're shooting basketball or, you know, whatever the case may be. I mean, again, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, those guys, they shot more times and won. I think I saw some statistic where Jordan, I think it was like 478. It might have been more. That seems like a lot, but it's really not when you think about how long his career was. Game-winning shots, and I think he hit like 74, 78 or something.
Yeah,
but he was the greatest. But he was the greatest player ever. Like, so he missed 400 of them or something. But he was still willing to take it. So every time he failed, he just get back up and he would try harder and work harder. And so I think that's the thing, is people come in and they think this is easy. Well, it is relatively, I think. I mean, because it's just work, and I'm not afraid of hard work, and I care about people. The question is, are you willing to go through the ups and downs, and are you willing to go through the no's and things like that? And if you have the right heart and the right service mentality, you're going to win. But you just got to stay the course. I mean, the only way you fail is if you quit. You're not a failure if you keep getting back up. That's just a fact. So, Robby, just maybe some other things that, you know, new person's watching and they're like, hey, man, what are some things I can do right away? What would those be?
Okay, so if you're brand new to this business,
Protect families.
and you want to do very well protecting families, which is ultimately going to protect your family because you're going to be able to provide for them. What you've got to understand is that there's going to be some objections that you've got to get to a point where you can just overcome those. You've got to be able to get to the point where you feel comfortable enough talking to the people on the phone. And I take a very personal approach on the phone. And what I try to do is I try to disarm the person very quickly in the phone call, because a lot of times, you know, they've been inundated with phone calls from telemarketers or whatever. Maybe it was from a lead that they filled out with us. Maybe it was from other sources, other questionnaires that they filled out. But needless to say, their phone's been ringing off the hook. Okay, so I let them know straight up front early. Look, Miss Mary, I am not a telemarketer. I'm your local underwriter right here, and I'm just calling to introduce myself. I got this information right here, and it looks like it was a questionnaire that you filled out online. It probably did get some telemarketers calling you. Have they been calling you? And if she says, yeah, they've been calling me, they always do, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, it makes it tough on us local guys, but I'm here to fight for you, and we fight through this and this, that, and the other. And then I just go straight into it. What are you looking to do? Are you wanting to get some final expense coverage? Are you looking to leave something to the family if something happens? Is it mortgage protection? What is it that you were trying to do? And they'll tell you. And sometimes they'll say, well, I'm trying to do both, or maybe they're just wanting to compare. If they say, well, I was just online, I'm just trying to compare. So you know what? Whatever they say, you're talking to the right person, Miss Mary. You're talking to the right person. If all she wanted to do was compare, hey, that's what we do. We work with all these different carriers. They're all A+ rated, and I name off some of the top ones like Mutual of Omaha, Americo, AIG, Aetna, John Hancock, ones they've heard of and seen on TV. I say, what we do is we're going to compare for you. We're going to find you the best coverage at the lowest price. We'll come present it to you. We're mandated by the state, which we are, and then we just present it to you, and then we help you get what you're looking for. In fact, what we'll do on top of that, Miss Mary, if you've already got coverage, we're going to take your policy that you got right now, and we're going to look at it for free. And we're going to look and compare it to what else is out here. And if what you've got's the best, we're going to give you a thumbs up. And if what you've got can be beat by someone else out here, one of these other carriers, we're just going to point you in the right direction and help you get what you're looking for. And so then I always ask this question after I've gone through a couple of health questions on the phone, like I will ask, if they're a smoker, non-smoker, any major health issues. And then I ask this question. I'll say, what's your work schedule? And I ask that on purpose, okay? I want to know their work schedule. I want to know when they're home, okay? Once I know when they're home, maybe they'll say, well, I'm retired, or I'm on disability, I'm home, or I don't get home until 5 in the afternoon. I go in at 8 in the morning. And so once I know when they're going to be home, then I start giving them options. I'll say, okay, so you get home at 5. I'm looking at my schedule tomorrow. I've got a 5:30 and a 6 o'clock. Which slot works better for you? It takes about 15 minutes. And they'll tell you, one of the two. And then you just book it. And then you go see them. And you help them. And you write that policy, and you get their family covered and give them some peace of mind, and you move right on. And that's it. So yeah, if you're looking at this business and you're coachable, because I am a coach, then I'd love to work with you. And I can promise you this: I learned from the absolute very best. I sat in his office, and that's Dave Whichard. I sat in his office for the first 5 months that I was with Family First Life, and it's the best thing that ever could have happened to me, because I learned how to set appointments on the phone. I learned how to run appointments. I learned how to deal with objections, the whole 9 yards. Learned it from Dave Whichard. Learned about recruiting from Dave Whichard. Okay, so you're looking at a guy that has patterned his business after the best in the business. So if you want to come and get coached by me, then reach out at 910-540-6756. Again, that's 910-540-6756. And you can go on the website for Family First Life Blast Off, and that's just go2robby.com. That's G-O, the number 2, Robby, ROBBY.com.
Yeah, Robby. Well, thanks for being on. Losing my voice a little bit here. Just need some water or something. But thanks for being on Weekend Warrior Podcast. And we just we're striving to just give you some content that can help you, motivate you. Hopefully make a difference. Like I always say, if it's just one person that matters, that something we said or you learned, you pick up one thing, that's what matters. So that's why we're putting it out there. But I was reading over here 7 tips of life. The first one says, don't compare your life to others and don't judge them. You have no idea what their journey is all about. That's just a tip for the day. But, so I think, and I talked about that on another one, but I mean, always be reading positive things, putting positive things in your head, and let's just continue to grow. Get up every day and try to be a better person. Let's touch lives one at a time, and let's change this world together. So that's the way I see it. So, and we're so glad to be here at FFL. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Mike, Mike Sizer, all of the people who allow us to do these things every single day. So appreciate you guys, and thanks for being on.